Hello, this is David, and I decided to go with the Sauna approach for Project 4.0. This is the exterior perspective, seen from the street of a urban site. I decided to go with an urban site for a couple different reasons. One of the main reasons because my prior project was working with negative space cavities inside of a solid, trying to work with heavier materials and almost provide the feeling like you're in a cave. And being wedged between two heavier buildings, I think is a good application to use the heavier materials that I had in my prior project and possibly make it a good urban retreat, a place to be more in refuge and yet with good accessibility with a ramp and stairs. As seen through the circulation diagram as well, there's a ramp and stairs going to the front entry, which then goes into the reception area, and also the thermal pool areas directly to the left. It's a little bit of a dip. Water closets are centrally located, and then it's saunas and dressing rooms, showers. For my second diagram of choice, I decided to do a privacy diagram, and for it may not actually have been done before, but I thought it was one thing that I was thinking about a lot during the design phase, so I decided to do it. Green is seen generally by exterior and interior. Yellow is areas seen by people in the interior of the building, or if someone's really trying to look through the openings and windows and glazing from the exterior. And red is areas that can be completely blocked off from sight from both interior and exterior. It's a little bit of it's active screening from the inside, though. There is shower curtains. There is a frosted door for the frosted glass, that is door for the sauna, and doors going into the water closets, of course. And just a rendered floor plan. You can see foliage blocking noise from the streets, both alley and more importantly the front, because this is open columns in between. Here I decided to do a column for my previous project that I brought in, and I actually had it submerged in water in my previous project as well. And I also designed these, are not really, it's not a new concept, but I modeled these lounge chairs and side tables that are submerged into water about 2 inches thick, and it's something that I like seeing in luxury hotels and such, even though I never go to them. And the water closets, I have some standard fixtures I brought in from manufacturers along with these tables, but everything else was modeled. And looking from the alley at the top in the north elevation, this is similar to what I had in one of my olfactory, one of my sense of smell squares for program in my previous project. And I mimicked what I did in the previous project in this back area, which is actually in the exterior now. And I did it to basically make it not just a heavy flat wall from the alley. And you can see the couple of circular windows about 8 feet up, looking into the at least the circulation right behind the showers and dressing areas. But they're high enough where if someone was even at a taller height building behind the alley, you can only see into the circulation, not the dressing rooms. This is so because I have these heavier masses on the east and west, I had to hide them when doing the east and west elevations. So this is what it looks like if I were to hide the mass building to the east, and it's just a larger brick, and you can see the dip of the front curb and sidewalk, and also in the alley with this little planter. All right, and looking south again, similar to where the perspective was, you can see the foliage once against the ramp and stairs and how it's wedged between the two mass buildings. And west is very similar to east, so I'm not going to go into detail on that, but the cross section going through the thermal pool, you can get a better look at what the water closet entails, and this is the hallway leading to sauna and then dressing rooms behind that. And you can see this column a little bit more in detail that I brought in from my previous project. And then this is another cross section I decided to do so I can show off the division and how I divided the dressing room and showers. And also it cuts into the sauna with coal is right behind this wall. It's the only thing that's hidden. Okay. Oh. And looking west, so other direction, this cuts through the skylight that is above the thermal pool, and once again you can see the centered decorative column, and you can also see the modeled lounge chairs, which I did as a detail for my enlarged detail sections. There is it is modeled by other people, of course, but I could only find it paid for, and it seemed like a very relatively easy thing to model, so I just started modeling it, and that's why it ended up becoming a detail component, is because I just ended up spending some time modeling these two items. And the idea is it's cast in place concrete for both concrete furniture with a darker smooth finish, darker concrete smooth finish. And I did the Saphira SketchUp plugin daylighting simulation, and you can see that the sauna and water closets do not get a lot of daylight, and the front area does indeed get quite a bit of daylight, even with the thermal. Not thermal. The thermal pool is not showing because of water, but the massive buildings to the side are definitely blocking a lot of daylight, especially for the skylight, which I was hopefully believe will bring in plenty of light, at least indirect light for the thermal pool area. Not much light is coming through these back windows. And this is interior perspective looking at the thermal pool and the lounge area right next to the thermal pool. You can see the concrete furniture I modeled, the column I brought in. Okay, and this is the sauna. The frosted door isn't quite visible because ray tracing doesn't work for Rhino on my laptop. Or actually, it's probably because I have 1 gig of textures in the model. But it turns out pretty nice still, and it gives a good cornerstone of the project. And that is my approach, and thanks for any feedback in advance. I'd like to hear what you guys think, and thanks for watching.